Hello, Judy here from Thistledew Creations. The other day I did a video with some snippet strips that I was doing for a swap. Told you all about the swap and made them in poppy themed, sunflowers, carnations, and I guess that's it. Poppies, carnations, sunflowers, and more poppies. So I did these for a swap, but then when I got looking on Facebook last night, I realized that the swap is for Christmas ones. So luckily, after I did the video the other day, when I made those ones, I made a few more blanks. And I'm glad I did, because then it allows me to do this video real quick. You don't have to watch me do the actual bases this time. And I may do more of this kind of thing for other seasons and then refer you back to the poppy video to see how I did the bases. But basically they are strips from the edges of cereal box where I've used the main front and back of the box for something else. And then I've layered on torn sheets of book page, music, map, and then some of these lacy looking strips where I've used a linear punch to make them. So these ones that I did, I incorporated some green in them. So I thought they would be good to use for the Christmas because they've already got some green on them. So I'm going to start with laying down some doily, pieces of doily. And I have the darker ink out, but I think I'm going to do just vintage photo on the white. And I'm going to just sort of let that hang off the edge a bit. So I'm going to cut them into smaller pieces. Oh, if those scissors won't do it. I find that those scissors that do shapes, they like a little thickness to cut through. They don't like to cut through really thin stuff. I might be able to get it to cut through several at once. Yeah, it'll do that a little bit better. Probably even better if I add like a piece of paper with it. Just not good for fabric or really, this piece of paper is kind of mildewed, so I don't mind cutting that away. Just wanting basically the edges of the doily so that it just sort of hangs off the edge and then there'll be something else in front of it. There, that worked better. Good little tip. And then that little bit of white from the center, I'll just throw it in my white drawer. I've got a black and white drawer in my craft cart. I have to show you that someday. It's got, top drawer is just all beige papers, coffee dyed and otherwise, and then book page, music, map, black and white, poems and words, and then the colors, 2 or 3 drawers of colors, and then glitzy papers, like sparkly ones, and then the bottom drawer is cardstock scraps. So that's how I organize mine. But I would like to show it to you someday. It's just a total mess right now. So my vintage photo is going to be a little dark at first because I think this was getting used for the darker one. On the long weekend I was at my son's and we were all crafting and it kind of got a little crazy. So I'm going to put that, overlapping that music right there. I'm going to put the glue down on the strip instead of on the back of the doily. You see, not everything is inked on this, but I probably will go back and ink the edges of like the outside edges. Don't really need to do it yet because some of this might be covered, but I'll just do that one. Okay, so there's a bit of doily, and then I want to incorporate some of this red burlappy stuff. So I'm going to just cut a strip. I don't think I need quite that much. Go like there. And then I'm going to take a pokey tool and just see if I can get parts of it to fray. That glitter might hold it from fraying through where the snowflake is a little bit. It does actually fray pretty easily. Probably should have something underneath this. Scratching up my work surface. And then I'm going to place that, up here. I don't want to cover this. I don't want to cover my music completely. So maybe I'll do a smaller snippet up there. There. Kind of up in the corner, and that'll have to be the tacky glue. And that covers sort of the end of the lacy part where it just came to an abrupt end. I always like to make that a little more graceful, even though it's still square. With the fraying, it softens it a bit. Let's clean up my glue tip there. So that's the beginning of the adding of the red. Now I've got this, what I would call upside down, because I do like my words to go right side up. And this, I was doing everything kind of rectangle and square, nothing on angles. Just, that's the mood I was in that day, and I'm going to continue along with that. And so since I've got music way down here, I'm going to put some of the green music way up here. And that's what I brought these over for. These are Fisker paper edgers. It doesn't say the name of it. And if you'll notice the design on them, it doesn't look anything like that. I was really surprised when I used them to cut. They have a much more regular edge than it's showing. This looks almost random, but this is a definite pattern. 3 bumps a dip, 3 bumps a dip. So I don't know. I'm surprised that Fisker's had something weird like that, but they do. So I'm just going to use that to cut myself a nice little rectangle. And make it a little smaller. That's thick enough that it can take some craft glue. I'm going to put it, again, to cover that edge there. There is a little bit of music peeping out there, but that's okay. And then, what else do I have that's red? I've got the cardinals. I'm going to maybe sprinkle 3 of these. And that also adds some more beige element. So I don't want it to be too clean looking. I don't like trying to make anything pure white. The only time I ever did white in any capacity, well, 2 times in my life I have done white. I was in the International Order of the Rainbow for Girls, which is an offshoot of the Masons and the Eastern Star. And a friend of mine was in it in high school, so I joined up, and we wore long white dresses, which was really fun for me. I only had the one long white dress, and I don't even remember where I got it. Maybe if you're watching, Sherry, you can add to that. Maybe you helped me get one. And the other time that I was into white was when we were doing karate. My son and my husband and I all did karate together when my son was about maybe 8. And we wore the white gis, and I had to keep them white, and I had to keep white undergarments white. Most of the time I don't bother even trying to keep things white. We have always lived in the country with hard water that discolors the clothing, and I've never been a great one for sorting. So, you know, the jeans go right in with the white stuff and then it's not white anymore. That's just kind of how I've always rolled. So nothing ever really stayed white for me, but I've done it 2 times in my life. But to be honest, when I go back now and I look at the geese where I store them, because I never did get rid of them, they're not really all that white. Didn't do as well as I thought I was doing, keeping them nice and white. So I'm going to put a couple of the cardinal stickers and probably 3 buttons, maybe add some green in the buttons, because there's a little bit more green in these stickers. And these aren't as bad as I thought. They have more of a papery backing. Some of them have the clear plastic backing, which is nice and, what do you want to say, firm, keeps the stickers from bending, but it's really hard to get them off. There. This pokey tool does a pretty decent job of it. And I think I'm going to have that one. If I have that one poking out, then I just have to do something for the back where it's not covered. So that's where I could use a little piece of that center of the doily. And just stick it down, which is not completely covered there. Stick that down. And then I'll just take these scissors again and maybe not those ones, maybe my little baby ones. And just kind of fussy cut around that sticker. But now the back's not sticky, because it'll probably be either a page edge or a belly band. And then I'll ink up the edge. I wish I had inked the stickers before I put them down. So I'm just going to go around very gently just on the edge. I still want the snow on the log to be white, but I want the sticker itself to look like it's aged. So the next few that I do, I will ink them before I stick them. And maybe now that I know that I need to do this, this might be a television task where I take my stickers over to the TV, and while I'm watching Outlander or whatever it is that I'm watching, I can ink some stickers so that they're ready to go. And then this I'm going to put here. I've got those green stickers, but I like the dimension of this. And then I'm going to go here, cover the end of that little bit of lace there. And keep these ones all in the plaid. Buffalo check. So just 2 stickers, 3 buttons, 3 pieces of burlap added onto my base. I think that's it. Oh, I've got the ribbons too. I could do red ribbons, but they need to maybe go under the buttons. We'll play with that on the next one. So there's number 1. I like. And then this one, right side up here. Oh, I've also got washi tape. I can add some washi tape in. Forgot about that. Maybe this white background one. With the small little poinsettias and pine cones. I'm going to rip it on an angle. Prefer that. Too straight. And what do I want to cover here? I'll cover this little section right here. Just adds a bit of background color. And then on this one, I'm going to do the ivory and trees. So again, I will cut a strip. I'm going to go vertical this time. So that I'm not, there's already some trees cut in half, but I don't want to really cut any more of them in half. So I'll get this guy and this guy. I like the way they've got half of that one. You want to save that for something else. And I'll cut another one of these little ones. You can probably see my wheels turning when I looked at that and didn't want to use it. I have something else in mind for it. I'm thinking I better do it today or it'll be gone. The idea will be gone. Okay, so there's one tree. I'm gonna put the big one in the center. I've never really used gold in my Christmas decor either. I've always used silver and copper. That's one thing, doing these swaps and trades and challenges, it really does challenge you to do color schemes and themes that you might not normally just do them on your own, especially me. So that I do want kind of hanging out. And this one can go up around this direction. And this one can go down at the bottom. I think what I'm going to do with that half tree is make a little ATC with it. So stick around to the end and we'll do that. I've got some ATCs that I prepped last night, a bunch of masterboards that I cut up. There's a video for that too. And some of them have music paper on them so that I can do the same basic design as I'm doing now, but on an ATC format. So that's something I do try to do while I've got all the supplies out, is kind of use them until I just don't feel like using them anymore. I'm going to cut the bottom of that tree off because it's not going to let me fray the top edge at all. And then I'll get a frayed top edge here. A lot of little strings with this, but I think it's worth it. And that's something else I could do in front of the TV, is cut up these pieces of fabric that I know darn well that's the only way I'm likely going to use it, is cut it up. So I've been learning that if I just go ahead and cut it up, then I will have it ready to use and I'll use it. If I keep it in its full form, I want to save it. I don't want to stop and do it, so I don't do it. Okay, so there's my 3 gold elements. I'm just going to lay this one out a little more. I'm going to add lace as well. I'm covering up a lot of the map, but I'm not too worried about that. I'm going to do some lace up here, I think. Maybe a slightly smaller piece that doesn't come to a point. Just don't want that so white. A little sip of my coffee, if you don't mind. So I'm thinking that staggered a bit with the, oh, and then this can overlap it like that, just like that. And then my stickers. I don't have a lot of Christmas stickers. Well, actually, you know, I should look through my big sticker. I've got one of those expanding folders with stickers in it. A lot of these are couples. I like the ones on the nest. And one with a bell is very Christmassy. But remember to ink them first. Just looks so much more rich to me when they're inked. And then my buttons. So I'm going to go ahead and glue some things down. And I think on this one, I'm going to use the black and white buttons, I think. I do love black and white gingham or buffalo check the best. Where was this? This was here. And this was here. And you'll notice I'm not gluing this all the way to the edges. Because it's frayed, I don't want it to be like glued down tight, you would say. I don't want those edges to be up, kind of loose. But this will overlap them. These are much better to get. These are from Temu, so I'm kind of surprised because most of the ones I've bought from there have been horrendous. So like that, and then again, just a little bit too bright, even though I want white. I could have picked red or green, but I just want it a little more aged. And sometimes what I also do with these is take my little bag of buttons, and while I'm watching TV, I will put string through them so that they look like they're sewn on instead of glued on. Still not using the ribbons. Maybe what I need to do is just do a little snippet of ribbon coming out instead of trying to incorporate the whole thing. Could sneak that in underneath there. Again, just gluing the one end. And that's not really doing it for me what I want it to be. I think green is okay. It's not the green that was bugging me. It was the way the end was. So I'm going to fold it over and do one of these ends. And then I'm just going to angle that in a bit at the top so it's not quite so bulky. There, that's more like it. It's a small little detail, but that's, to me, that's what makes things or breaks them. Let's see if I can get it with my fingernail. I can. And that's overlapping that. I'm going to put this one again over. So you've got all this detail on this side, so I'm just trying to add a little bit of in and out detail on this side. So I'm going to again stick this on there. And follow the edge of the sticker. And then I'll just re-ink that edge as well. So you won't see any of the white poking through. And it'll darken up that edge too. I don't like this really straight edge here. Maybe another piece of the doily there. I've got some smaller bits here. That's perfect. Some of this really vintage sheet music didn't come in a book. It was just like a folder with 2 pages or whatever. Some of it is very smooth paper, and it tears too straight for my liking. Like most pages will tear jagged. A lot of this really old stuff, it was just such a fine quality that it doesn't tear jagged. It tears nice and straight, and I don't like it. I like it jagged. I love my ripple scissors. So yeah, so that's got a little more of a flow to it now. And then I'm going to put another button down here somewhere. I'll leave that word pine showing for sure. This is the archival ink, so it shouldn't wipe off of these buttons. Cut myself another little ribbon. It's a good way to use these up. Because like I say, I just don't decorate with green and red. I keep asking in my Wednesday wishes and my whatever the different themes are on the Facebook pages, I keep asking for non-traditional Christmas papers and stickers and stuff. So some people have sent me some pink and baby blue, really pretty stuff. This one I'll have the ribbon going down. Starting, oh, I don't want to cover up the word pine, I said. In fact, I'm going to kind of point to it with this ribbon. And then I'll put this again on top of the end of the ribbon. I almost could use one going out the other way. I could untie that and straighten it with my straightening iron, but I'm not sure it's worth it. I guess it depends how badly you need the craft supplies, right? I'm looking for excuses to pass them on to someone else. I've got way too much. There, that looks even cuter, doesn't it? And do it up at the top too. These might have been, actually I think they are. I think these ribbons were off of the Christmas crackers last year. And I did a video where I made the Christmas cracker cardboard covers into little mini notebooks. So you might want to go and check that out. Be in my Christmas in July videos, which I'll probably be resharing in December. Because any Christmas idea, we all want ideas, right? A little piece of that burlap string there. That's still not set, so we're good. And that's kind of pointing down to the tree, overlapping the sticker, which is good. And then I think another button somewhere over in here. And I think this one I'll do more straight up and down. Maybe I'll do a red one. These ones are kind of like a grosgrain. That'll just give me red and green accents. So we have ribbon that's too wide. If it's something that won't fray easily, you can do this kind of thing, like trimming it for width as well. Put this around here, leaving that loose. Grab myself another button. Buttons are from Temu as well. They should be in a recent Temu haul, which I could link for you if I remember to. I could link all these videos if I remember to. So if they're not there and you want to see one that I've mentioned, just give me a nudge, ask me the question on YouTube, and I will put it in the description for you. My intentions are always good when I'm making the video and thinking of all the videos that are related to it, but then it's usually a different day that I'm actually uploading the video and putting in the description, and I forget to do the links unless I rewatch the video, which I don't always take the time to do. I always watch them at least once before they air in case they're horrible. I can put something else up that day. I try to do that before I go to bed each night. Just watch one of my videos that's coming out at midnight and just make sure it's not completely stupid. There's a couple I pulled. There's some that I thought, oh, well, they love me. They'll forgive me. So now I just want to add some more ink. See how that's so straight there? It's a little jagged, so I'm leaving it. And I'm going to ink all along this other lacy edge too. It really adds dimension. There. So I got my 3 elements, my 2 birds, my 3 trees, a little bit of a, this would look nice hanging out of a book either side or as a belly band. I'll set that one aside. We'll do another one. Let me just check my time. I want to do at least 3. I think the swap is for 3. Maybe I'll try to do 2 at a time. I didn't use any of these stickers yet. I guess I could add a little sentiment on. Or the little seals are neat too. Maybe I'll use that on my ATC. Okay, let's continue on. I didn't add more music paper to that last one, but it didn't need it. Where would I have put it, right? So we'll do some on this one. So this one is upside down. So I've got music down here, but none up here. And it's not Christmas music, but it's the green writing that I was thinking would be cool. Green music and words. Don't see that very much anymore, but some of the books that I got, or sheet music that I got, the covers, the back cover would be in a different color, and then the inside would be just cream and white, see? Cream and black, sorry. And then the back cover would be a color. Some of them were navy blue, some of them were red. So when I was going through them, I saved a bunch of the colored music for things like this. Not really knowing how I was going to use them, but knowing that I wanted to try to use them. Just wanted to cover that 2002. That's off of a calendar. So that gets me music top and bottom. No glue up there, that's good. And I've got this one is West Virginia, so I'm going to probably keep this one to send to Brad and Anita. Branita. A little bit of pink. Maybe I'll put it in a Christmas card folio kind of thing that I'll make for them. I'm pretty sure the swap is just for 3. So this will be an extra one for me to use. And because it's got the West Virginia on it, I want to send it to someone in West Virginia. So some doily. Some snowflakes, I think. I really like the snowflakes. So there's one that's a half snowflake. I'm going to save that for the same project as the half tree. And then that'll get me into some decent ones here. So I've got a little spattering of 3, and then a big one, and then another single one, but I would rather have another spattering of 3, which I can get right here. If that's that much better, but that's what I'm doing. It's very important to fray the edges of this stuff. It just looks so much more natural and cute. Gosh, I hope you guys can't hear my stomach growling. That's all I can hear. Okay, we'll do that. It's late October as I'm doing this, and I'm thinking that there's probably still stuff outside at the flea market at the Capitol Flea near Charleston, West Virginia, and I wouldn't be surprised if Brad and Anita were there. I know they were at the trailer last weekend at the Black Walnut Festival, Spencer, and I'm just wondering if they're at the flea market where I would like to be on a day like today. Actually, I could be at one up here, but I'd rather craft. Okay. So definitely some couples on these ones, because my Branita friends, it's my second cousin and his wife. Are a couple of lovebirds. So I'll use lovebird ones. Let's see if I've got any Christmassy lovebird ones. I like the lantern. These ones are nice. Nestled in there. Use the lanterns on the other one. A lantern and a bell. And I'll use these lovebird ones for them. And I might do 3 for them because they're special. I was talking to Brad last week on the phone. Finally, I haven't talked to him in a long time. And he admitted to me that he hasn't been watching my videos. And I said, Brad, I talk about you in my videos more than anybody else, and you're not watching? And plus, I put them on at midnight so that you can watch them while you drink your coffee in the morning, because he goes to work really, really early. He says, I do all this for you, and you're not even watching. Come on. So he said he would watch. So make a comment below, Brad, if you're watching, and I'll know. So I'm going to put these lighter ones top and bottom and the darker one in the middle. And I think green buttons, because there's a lot of red there already. And let's see, I've got some of the buttons are plain. I would like to use the plaid ones. So I need 3 buttons. I do like to do things in 3s. And then for this one, I think I'll use up some of these red ones. And then some of these little plain ones, I might decoupage. If I get some napkin with a really, really, really small pattern, I may do some decoupage on those. Or just ink them up really good and put some pretty string through them. Could use them that way too. Maybe I'll do a video of that next time I do some of them. Okay, so I think this is about all this needs, except I can't cover West Virginia. And West Virginia, I think the cardinal is the state bird. I can do that and that. And I think I wouldn't mind a different color ribbon with this. I don't have any lace yet. I could put lace behind this edge. Maybe this will end up just being like the cover of the book or something. If I do them like a folio. I haven't decided yet. I think I'm going to do like a folio for a Christmas card and send it to them. That's what I'm kind of thinking. So let me just set these aside again, because what I need to do is put this on from the back. I think I'm going to put a few strips of it. Kind of centered on West Virginia. And then this piece will go up here. That edge won't need to be done, but I'm doing it anyway. And I think what I better do after this too is give my dad a call. I haven't talked to him all week, and we were away last weekend. I think I was just exhausted, to be honest. Being away, working 3 days in a row and then going away. We left, I worked Sunday all day, and then we left and went to Ottawa to see Carson and Amelia, and wow, I was tired. It was well worth it, but I was so tired. And so I haven't even talked to my dad this week. He understands, but I still feel bad for not reaching out and talking to him. I'm just trying to be resting and refocusing on what needs to be done for fall and winter, both for this, YouTube, the house, work. I got to be extra prepared because he's having a knee surgery this fall, and I'm going to go and stay with him at least the first week afterwards, possibly longer if he needs it. So I've been getting together some craft supplies to take so that I can continue to craft. He's going to have some projects for me too. Getting himself organized. And then I think what I want to do is just put one piece of paper on the back, but I'll wait till I'm all done, just so that it's smooth on the back. In case it is a belly band, you don't want the stuff you're poking in and out to get caught on anything. So I'll get that size once I've got this all decorated. So I was going to do, well, this one is the important one that I can't cover up, West Virginia. So I think I had it like this. And I'm going to put this up so that you see more of that snowflake. Like so. And that white glue will dry clear. I'm not worried about that. And I'm going to maybe add just a touch of glue on the back of this sticker, or on top of the burlap, just so that it doesn't start to peel up. Our little lovebirds in their nest. And I was thinking about a different color of ribbon, maybe gold or silver. I just reorganized all that stuff. I do. Or actually, I've got some, no, that wouldn't work. I was going to say I've got some black and white check. That would work if I used the plain buttons, but maybe just green. I don't know if that's the right green. Yeah, I think that'll work. Let me use them up. There's a lot of red there already. I want to do it before I glue the buttons down. So these bits, I think I want to angle it sort of like that, but I still want to be able to see West Virginia. I'll put my button. Oop. A little goopy. There, I did an angle. Then this one will go down off this way, covering up this little spot. My fingerprint on there. And then this one can go here and a button here. The West Virginia map came out of an atlas that I got in a used antique book haul. They were on Marketplace for free, and I didn't even know what was in the box. She just said, an old box of books. I said, yes, please. And my brother-in-law, Greg, delivered them to me, and there's a video of the haul of those as well. Lots of fun using old books. I just tore that book apart last night and took all the rest of the pages out of it. So I have lots of maps, and a lot of the maps have pink, which I thought was neat. Don't often see that. Don't always see that. I'm going to put this button up here so that I don't cover up these two. I think I'll do this one straight up and down. So I'm going to put a strip of glue and set these into it. And then another dab for the button. And then up at the top here, I think I'll put this over this way again and kind of up like that. I don't want to cover up the word mellow. I don't even know if that's... And then the sticker is going to go about here. I don't really remember if that's the way I had it, but that's the way it's going now. Just keep getting gluey fingers. Gluey and inky. I often wonder if anybody notices my manicure, to see like from one day to the next if it's the same or if it's all random, because I don't always post my videos in the order that I make them. I might make a video and save it for later. Like this one won't be, I'm filming in late October, but I won't be putting this on the air until sometime in December. So you can sometimes tell if my manicure is very distinct. You might be able to tell if I did something the same day. but most of the time you can't tell. Do a lot of purples and blues on my fingernails. Favorite colors. Where do I want this one? I might go horizontal with this one just for the fun of it. So I think that looks good. A little bit of glue on that satin, that's not good. A little more random with my direction. I'm going to cover that sticker, the back of that sticker. Before I use it or send it, I'll make sure that nothing is popping up, and if it is, I'll give it a little extra glue. There, so there's Brenita's snippet strip, belly band, tuck spot, at page edger, whatever it ends up being. Could even just be the cover, decoration for the cover. And then let's do this last one kind of quick, quick like a bunny. What am I going to use for it? I think I wouldn't mind using some of those gold or green seals. And definitely some lace. I always like the look of like the wax seal look, and I do have some wax seals there too that I could possibly use if I've got any that are the right color. But honestly, I think they're more pastels. That does not want to come out. I like to save those bags, but I have a gazillion of them, so save that. Let's see, my little wax seals here. Yeah, they're more pastels, but I could use some of these gold ones. Maybe save them for one of my pinker projects. I've got some pink Christmas stuff to do. I'm definitely drawn to the pastels and the pinks and the blues. And I'll definitely add some more green music. So I'm going to move these off to the side. So just music there. So I'll put some down in here. I almost hate to cut that stripe off, but it doesn't really work to leave it right now. So if I go off the edge, I don't want to go off too far, but I don't want to really cover that up either. Maybe do that so it's giving me a jagged edge down at the bottom here. Got a little bit of French on this. Oh, and I didn't ink it. Darn. those edges and carefully ink. I don't want to get glue on my ink pad. There. Just straighten that a bit. And then maybe use this long skinny piece here. Actually, I hate to cut out of another piece, but I think I'm going to take a long skinny piece and leave the stripe that I was saying I liked, because I don't mind having a straight edge like here. I'll put it right here. And then that'll bring some of that green music paper up. Ink it. You're probably yelling at me through the screen. Ink it first. And as old as these are, some of them were from the teens and 20s and 30s. As old as they are, they're not very yellowed. I don't know how she had them stored. They belonged to a lady who taught piano, and it was her daughter that was getting rid of them. I did buy these ones. I think it was $10, but it was a whole huge, like one Rubbermaid totes that's about 18 inches tall. And it was full to the top with music paper. It was such a haul. I was so thrilled to get them. And I think I was worried that she would be upset that I was going to rip them up into pieces. So I told her, I said, I am going to use them for crafting. She says, that's okay. I just don't want to throw them away. She says, I realize no one probably wants to play this music. Some people probably do, but I just don't want them to go to the garbage. I said, well, they won't unless people don't like what I made out of them. So now here I'm going to put this on the back again. So that it's like poking out. Actually, I do want it up there. I want to do that with it to get it sort of creating that round top edge. And I might need to cut another one. I like the way that it gives them a little more width. Actually, here's a piece. No, I'll just cut another one. A piece of double it up. And cut through the... Actually, I don't really need to worry about that edge showing, do I? Because I'm going to be, just like I did over there, I'm going to be gluing it on the back, but just in case it shows in the project that it gets used in, I will still cut it with these scissors. That's actually given me some paper I can use, just little snippets. I'm gonna do some more masterboards and masterboard strips. Use up some of the scraps in those drawers. I can barely close that one. So this one I'll make nice and wide here. Maybe down here. And then maybe one of those stickers can come out. Might add a third sticker, or maybe one of the really big snowflakes can come out. That would look nice. This is a little bit bigger piece than I used on the other ones. I cut them into smaller arcs. Sometimes I do this kind of inking on a piece of paper, but it's all good. So this one I'm going to put further down and further in, I think. Something like that. Just tack that a little further over now that I've got something to tack it to. The other thing I can add here is some more washi tape, maybe to cover this. Maybe the black one. Haven't used anything black yet. And then maybe with doing that, I'm going to tear that on an angle. Might get covered, but because I said I wanted to do a big snowflake, got one right here. My nails are strong enough, I can do it without the pick tool. I really want it nicely frayed because it's a big rectangular piece, so I want to soften those edges. Something like that, and then one sticker here, and one sticker down here. I'm not sure if I even need buttons on this one. Let's just see how this goes. Where did my stickers go? They're hiding on my collage. The other thing I could do is add little bits of glitter with some glitter nail polish or something. If there's something that should be glittering or glowing, like when I did jack-o'-lanterns, I did their eyes and the cutouts on the jack-o'-lantern with gold glitter nail polish, and it looked really cute. I am liking these. I really am. I always start to put these right close to my chest to work on them, and then I realize you can't see that. I want to leave the word song. I'm going to put this one up quite high. It's a little crooked. I don't want it crooked. Very carefully. It's still sticky enough. I did take the word song I tore it. Might have to stay crooked. Okay, now I did go to all the trouble of opening these. So since I have snowflakes there, I think I'm going to use the trees in the green and put that nestled under the bird. It's not very sticky. I think it's old. Out of someone's stash, probably from the dollar store to begin with. So when stickers get old, you don't have to toss them, you can just glue them. Red buttons. I don't think I'm going to put ribbons on these ones because of the green seals. I'll let that be enough. And then I want something extra in here. Like not even a little bit sticky. That's probably enough glue to hold that down. So I'm just gonna give that a little extra lace there. A bit more of a collaged look. I like that you can see through that almost. I don't think I want anything else under there. I could use this last piece, but it won't quite reach. It would be just poking out. I'm gonna leave that flapping. And then I'm just gonna ink around everything. Tell when I get quiet, that's when I'm thinking. What am I going to do here? How am I going to finish this off? Is that enough? I think it is. I got my 3 nice focal points. This could almost use a third bird sticker, but I think this little, maybe a little sentiment down here. If I could find one, or maybe one of these gold trees, could do that. I'm going to use that one. Maybe one of these, maybe this one. Combine the 2 fabrics on the one card. And they're not so identical. I don't really mind if I cover up some of that lace. I don't really usually put 2 layers of the lace like that anyway. Yeah, that's finishing it off for me. And I like the way it overlaps both of those other elements. And if I move it over just a bit more, you can see the tips of the lace underneath it, which is also a nice little touch. Now that says USA Armed Forces. I'm not crazy about that. So maybe another little bit of lace doily there, since I have a piece. I don't want to think about war on a Christmas themed item. So I'm going to tuck that under. I'm going to get those strings out of my glue cap. There, that's doing it for me. You never have too much lace, eh? Okay, so now let's do this little ATC. Let's just review them here. So there's the one we just did. There's my West Virginia one. There's the second one we did. And there's the first one we did. So they'll all be in my thumbnail as well. And then let's see about an ATC. I did a bunch of beige background cutting out last night. Find one with a nice amount of music on it. There's one there. That one's not too bad. So I think I'm gonna, yeah, I told you I would do one with you. So I'll do one and then maybe I'll get into a bigger session and do it in a separate video. But I did promise you one. I do have to warn you though, the ones in the other video will probably be nicer because I always end up doing the second, third, and fourth one are always nicer than the first one. But this will get me started and give you, if you stayed to the end, you deserve to see what we stayed for, right? So what I was thinking was that this would be like going off the edge of the ATC. And then I'm going to use some of this other burlap as well. This is what they call arm's reach crafting, where you just use what you can grab. And then I definitely want a cardinal, maybe one with a Santa hat. And I am going to do just a bit darker edge around the very tips of this sticker. This is the ground espresso. Because I want it to stand out against all this other beige stuff. It's not doing as much as I would like it to do. I can almost come in with some black, which is maybe what I'll do. Don't use a lot of black ink for inking edges. I use it more for stamping. But I want this focal point to really show. And I definitely want my corners rounded. Background on this one is just the back side, the inside of a cereal box color. So I'm going to ink the edges in Vintage Photo. And then I'm going to ink the back edges as well, just to brown it up a bit. It's kind of that brownish gray. That just warms it up a little. Makes it look better in my opinion. Okay, so this is right side up. This little piece is going to go down in this corner, cover most of that writing, but I don't want to completely cover it. I want you to be able to see that there's writing there, just not be able to really read it. And then this piece, I want to ink a little bit because it's up against something fairly light already. And it's going to be glued very close to the edge. And up a bit. Some of these strings and stuff out of here. Before they mess up my masterpiece. And then I think I want to use I see something I can use. Another little bit of glitter. Arm's reach. Ooh, this is really shedding. This up at the top, and then I was thinking about using one of these sentiments. I don't know if I've got room for one, because if I want to put this on, I think I'm just going to leave it like that, and maybe just use this word joy. I'm going to have to fussy cut it, so I'm going to glue it onto this bit of paper. And then I'm going to use my scissors and cut out just the word. It's got like looks like knitted sweater in the background. It's kind of cute. And then I'm going to ink it. And that can go down in this corner, maybe with some glitter nail polish over top of it, I'm not sure. But I've got gold, silver, and red glitter. And then my bird is the main attraction. I'm going to have this underneath. Just fills up that spot. You can hardly even see, you can't see any of the music. Maybe that better go so that you can see some of the music. I could put this way, shorten it. Don't usually like doing things on an angle anymore, but I will if the design requires it. And I could put a little button there too. Same with kitchens. I don't usually use angles anymore, but if the design requires like a sink in the corner or something like that, I'll do it. If it makes sense, I'll do it. Corner sinks were a big trend back in the 90s. And some of the designs, they were doing them just because they were trendy. But there is certain small kitchens, especially, where it's really beneficial. And so I will still do them in those situations. What the heck? I'll do, a black and white button. Right on top of there. And then what I would like to do is put like a pocket on the back. I haven't done any like that before. So I might do that in the next video, is do some ATCs with pockets and tags. Got some little tags I want to use up too. I could go ahead and do it. Actually, maybe I'll make this one a tuck spot so I can leave those lines. Covered my ink. This paper is reasonably sturdy to be used as a tuck spot. Edges are a little fragile, but they'll be glued down. So by tuck spot, I mean I'm only going to glue these 2 sides instead of gluing 3 sides. And then something can be tucked in there. Like a small tag. I think I've got 2 there. Maybe not. A little tag that doesn't stick out, but a little ribbon might stick out if I put a ribbon through there. So that's a ATC with a tuck spot and a tag. So I'm going to expand on that for the next video. I'll finish up using up some of these supplies on my desk, and I'm going to get my coffee hot again before I do that. So if you've stayed till the end, thank you very much. That's an hour and a half again. Sorry for the long videos, but you know, you get crafting and you lose track of time, and you're trying to complete 3 things. You end up doing 5 things. So it's all good. Thanks for joining me. Like, comment, share, subscribe, but most of all, have a wonderful day.